Hello, I'm the Virgo Queen, here to awaken the divine consciousness. I do Mother Peace Tarot and astrological readings, and this weekly weather forecast is for the collective consciousness, for us to better understand as a whole what we are all going through and how we are evolving. And from this week, from August 15th to August 21st, we are looking at the heart of the matter. And the first card is 8 of discs. And 8 is about change, and discs is earth and our projects and the things that we are doing in the physical plane. And so what that means is that we are finding more fulfillment in the work that we're doing, that we have broken down whatever we've been letting go of the past 2 weeks, whatever has been destroying the things that do not serve. We have stripped that away, and we have finally stepped into our true feeling of purpose. So, what this means is that Uranus, the planet of our unique sense and also our long-term trauma, has been in retrograde. And so all these old parts of ourselves have been coming up. All these old senses and old beliefs have been opposing Neptune in this way. And Saturn is now in retrograde, which is Saturn, which is about our self-discipline, our soul task, what we came here to do. And it's showing us and reminding us of that depth and that truth and how we need to step forward. So what all of this means is that we are finding a deeper meaning in our everyday tasks, regardless if we're still doing the same work, and if it's, not necessarily a healing arts, but that we are bringing healing to our everyday tasks, and that we are finding more nourishment and more connections to the things that we do and how we interact with others. Because in the atmosphere, we have the Chariot, and Chariot is a major arcana, and she is the Amazon. She is the wild woman that knows the ways of the world, and she is showing us which way we need to go, that the time is now, and we must move forward, and that we're going to do it with the clear consciousness of our truth, and knowing that we do have a divine purpose, and we are willing to do the work to get the success and the victory and the connections that we are seeking for within ourselves and others. And this moves us to the cross current, which is 8 of Wands. And so 8, again, this active change energy, this transformation. And it's Wands. And so it's our psychic, it's our intuition, it's our passion. And so we're more open and we're actually more receptive to our natural instincts. And so we're really listening deep within while being able to put our visions forth and move towards them. Because in the root, we have 4 of Swords, and it's slightly tilted. So it's showing that we are moving away from being closed-minded, from trying to, stay in our little cocoon of our own divine knowing, and start planting new ideas and new seeds out in the world, starting to see what other people have to understand or show us in this life, and how that can change our thought forms and actually move more towards an open awareness and open acceptance of all ideas and thoughts of life. But in the sky, our mental plane, all the things we're thinking is Shaman of truth. So we are coming from this deep Sagittarian place of our inner knowing or our mental plane. And so there is a lot of us really battling against what is really serving our thought forms and what's not. So when I talk about service, a lot of can feel like, well, whatever feels easy, whatever is making me feel more, connected. But sometimes what is our greatest service is that opposition of our truth. And it makes us really stand up for what we want. And so a lot of times that opposing force is the service and is part of our path, so we can see more into the mirror of our shamanic truth, our all-knowing sense, and be able to boldly be and say what we are and who we plan to be. Because in the recent past, we had 6 of Swords. So 6 is change. Swords is the mental plane. So whatever the shaman of truth is able to express now this week is from the past of last week, when we are able to go onto the mountaintop of perspective and choose a new way of seeing the world, seeing something for the bigger picture. And so it was able to open our minds and open our new way of wanting to be. Because in the self-concept, we have Daughter of Discs, and Daughter is the young feminine aspect within all of us, and Discs is Earth. So much of what we are doing is trying to really embody what we learned last week, what we were able to see that was not part of our path, to let go of projects or people or things that was not helping us along the way. So we're learning to integrate that energy this week by really asking what feels good in this life, what feels good to be working on and putting our energy into. And a lot of times it asks us to go onto that vision quest, or to really just keep constant clarity on what the vision is. What is the bigger picture of yourself? And, keep working towards that. We a lot of times get caught as like up in what we want to be someday. But, everything takes time to evolve. And a lot of times when we have these sudden bursts of change and transformation, we think it's instantaneous, but it takes time to integrate. And so now that we've received the message of this new vision for ourselves, we need to start integrating it step by step. Making the different choices and not trying to be overwhelmed or impatient to thinking that we need to be what we want to be right now, and just be who we are in all the perfection that it is. Because in the hopes and fears, we have reverse Shaman of Wands. And so Shaman is the all-knowing father aspect of our energy. And again, Wands is our projects and passions and psychic abilities. And so it's reversed. So there's this deep inner sense of self that needs to strengthen. It's a lot of times when we're not able to do what we feel that we're capable of doing in the physical world, it shows that there's something going on internally that we need to master. And so by mastering our own fire, our own strength, and our bravery to be all the things that are really essential to this life that we have chosen, to just, again, integrate and to mature and to nourish those parts of us, and to really tune in and not feel that we're not capable. Don't listen to those thoughts. They're not real. You're real. And so start acting like it. Because in the future, we have reverse justice. Wow. Justice card, again, is a major arcana. And so major arcana show where we are on our soul evolution. And this card is, especially reversed, has a weight to it, because justice shows our karmic balancing and essentially our karmic cleansing. So a bringing back to the natural balance of the ecosystem within ourselves. And I know there's a lot of our own idea of what karma means. And if we just really look at karma is a weight, is a matter in which it needs to be transformed. And so sometimes it needs to be transformed on a belief system, or in a physical way, or, well, mental, spiritual. There's all different ways to really release karma. But here we are this week with the full moon in Aquarius with an eclipse. And Aquarius is the sign of uniqueness and spirit. It's an air sign, and it's the most connected sign in a way that it feels like it's already part of the other world, that actually Aquarians have a difficult time being in this reality because they see, well, the infinite possibilities and quite frankly can live in the other dimensions quite easily. And so we're being asked through this full moon to really integrate our uniqueness and really learn how we can communicate on all different levels of consciousness. And again, that level of consciousness that we want to feed. And so when we are opening ourselves up to this more lighthearted, more pure and innocent way of moving in, because Venus and Mercury is in Virgo, and Virgo is all about purification and cleansing and really being grounded and practical in the ways of the world and returning back to that natural ecosystem that we all ideally are striving for. So what is it that we've had to let go of that has been destroying those old paradigms? Because Aquarius is about moving into the new paradigm where we are all connected and that what happens to you happens to me. And when we start realizing that we are all part of it, will we not choose to be kinder? Choose to be more aware and awakened and choose love over anything else, because our frequency is naturally inclined to be in love with all that is and all that will be. And that is what we are moving towards. And so this karmic cleansing is a moving away from that and healing those old parts of ourselves, those old traumas. Aquarius will bring up many of our old ancestral wounds. We are trying to move out of a conditioning, a state of being that has limited us for centuries. And now we're asking no longer to push and to move against something, but to come back to our natural selves. So let us be brave and remember to surrender and always remember to love all parts of ourselves. Because in the house we have reverse Priestess of Wands. And so Priestess is the feminine, mature aspect of all of us. And Wands is, again, that passion, that psychic ability. And it's reversed. She feels blocked. She feels that she's been too aggressive in the past, hasn't been allowed to be in her power, being that we're not capable of that power or have enough strength. And a lot of centuries of being told no. And so it's kind of built up and feeling kind of this stuckness in our house, in our home. No matter, regardless of all the change that we're going through, there's still that feeling of a limitation. And so we truly just need to heal that and trust that we do have the strength. And we'll keep moving forward and trusting. Because in the outcome, we have the Fool, but he's reversed. And so the Fool, again, is the beginning of the major arcana. So it's like we are really coming from a new beginning. And so this full moon is really about a completion of the old paradigm and seeking a whole new vision of the new paradigm. So what that means is that there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of just not being and just simply witnessing life. And that can cause a lot of vulnerability because we're programmed to understand how to have control and how to have a routine and know all these things that are going to happen to us. But truthfully, we don't. And we just have to keep trusting in our future and accept our present and to forgive our past. And so this will open up the Fool to not being afraid of looking too foolish or not knowing which way to go, and put him upright so he can find the right path and choose the right people to bring him into this new world that we are all stepping into. Hope this helps. Have an amazing week. And if you'd like a one-on-one or personal reading, contact me at www.innerdoorways.com. Have a beautiful day.